washing day. It's a nice sunny day and there's a breeze, so I'm catching up on my laundry as always if it's a nice day on Monday. And I realise I've got a lot of filling in to do with you guys, and the reason I haven't posted anything for a while is because the SD card on this camera wiped itself for some unknown reason. It turned off and turned back on, and everything I'd saved on it on a 500 gig SD card just vanished, including a lot of stuff over the last few years, all my completed YouTube videos that I'd been stashing on there. I do have Dropbox that uploads things when I take, photos and videos, but it was only uploading like the really short videos, and I don't know how to change the settings, so obviously the longer videos just were gone, which is really sad because I'd taken some really nice video of the last couple of days at the free camp. I'd really put a bit of effort into making the last one the best one, and then obviously my trip leaving there and what happened since then, it's all gone, the whole lot. All the baby pictures, and that's been wiped. A lot of the video that I took. Anyway, I was really upset about that. So I've been dealing with quite a lot of grief saying goodbye to my daughter and grandchild, grief at leaving behind the house situation that we had, which was, challenging but nice to have a family home, what felt like a family home for a little while. And then grief over losing all my photos. Sorry, a car has just pulled up out the front here, so it's a bit noisy. I'll come back to you. Hi, Pixie. How you doing? Doing good? Yeah. Look at my little house. Hopefully that's a little bit quieter and not as windy sounds. So a bit of loss and a bit of sadness in my life with that, and it was funny because the last couple of days when I'd been at that free bush camp and getting my peace back, I actually had some video of me. I was lying on the couch and I was reading poems from the latest Michael Leunig poetry book that he'd just released, and poems that make me laugh and cry and just move my heart so much, and that's all been deleted and disappeared as well. And then I found out, like, in amongst all of the stuff I was going through, that he actually passed away, and that really got to me. Like, I was because I really had connected with that beautiful soul, and he was such a huge part of my life. I've been a fan since I was 7 years old, like 7 years, my entire life. This person and his thoughts and his creativity and his soul had kind of been like a guiding light for me, in so many ways, had influenced my outlook and my my acceptance of myself and my own sensitivities and everything, and the way I felt about things in the world. And I don't know, I can't explain it, but it actually makes me teary even now thinking about it. I even wanted to move to the town that I knew that he lived in, because I thought if it's good enough for him, it's in Victoria. And, I was looking up the caravan park there and seeing if I could go and spend some time there. Not to stalk him or anything, because, I've met him and we've had our interaction and it was amazing. But just because I just felt such an affinity to everything, and I thought if he felt that way about that place, then that place must be pretty special. And there was actually a beautiful old farmhouse for sale on like 50 acres or something. It was like a dream, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll win the lottery and I'll buy this little farm. Anyway, I'm over it. I'm okay. It's fine. But it was a lot of sadness to deal with in one hit. And it's taken a lot for me to kind of pick myself up and dust myself off and get back into, doing my own thing. I was all set to just keep heading back to Victoria It is kind of my home base feeling place these days. And then, you know, the reality sunk in that I just couldn't afford to. I couldn't even afford the petrol to go anywhere really. So I'm staying in Queensland, and I'm going to try and get a little bit of a kitty behind me, get some funds together. The truck needs a service, and it needs some, you know, just a little bit of maintenance done to it. And I'm really just so nervous about doing a big road trip again because of what happened last time I went to Victoria. And, you know, yeah, I've got the fear. I want to make sure that my equipment is 100% ready, and I'm always like that with a big trip. And, you know, I will head to Victoria eventually, but I had already booked myself in for this vintage caravan thing in Caloundra, where I'm going to be playing saxophone, and that's in May. And I thought, well, you know, I don't like being on the road during Christmas holiday period, which is something I've always avoided. And the timing of me leaving everything in Brisbane was just bang on that time. It was school holidays, and it starts to get hot, and every person with a caravan and a tent and a camper trailer and all the bikes and dogs, and they're all on the road. And I saw some of them coming up the highway when I did, you know, leave Brisbane, and it was quite frightening actually to see how overloaded some of these setups were. And, like, you know, caravans sitting down on the, you know, like this, because the car is like so loaded in the back of the ute that it's like practically on its wheels, and it's not safe, you know. So that kind of puts me off, and I just don't like crowds and people and the whole, yeah, I just don't like the whole experience. So I usually hide during those sort of beginning of December to about after Australia Day, really, because that's sort of the crazy time for me, and I just want to sit tight. So I've actually managed to get myself a little part-time job in the camping office here. I'm only doing the afternoon shift from 4 to 6 every day, and it's something I'm really thankful for. I actually just managed to get it like the day after I got here, so that was really nice, because the girl that was doing it just left. So I was like, do you need somebody else to do that? I could do that, you know, which has been a godsend. So the plan is to pretty much stay put now. I know some of you are real keen to watch me on the road, but I don't want you watching me on the road when I'm feeling nervous and anxious and something goes wrong and I have a meltdown and I don't cope and my mental health suffers from it. I've kind of got to prioritize self-care at the moment and doing what's best for me. That's not to say I won't have things to say from time to time, as I always do, but for the moment I'm going to sit tight. I've put my awning up, so that means I'm staying a while. The washing machine is out the back, and you know, I can busk here if I need to. I've got this little part-time job which is kind of giving me a sense of purpose and routine, and it's nice to interact with other camper people, you know, chat and have that human interaction. I think that's probably a good thing for me, because I've had a lot of solitude, and even though I love my solitude, it gets to the point where if you spend too much time on your own, and then when you try to interact with other people, you end up feeling like a bit weird, which is not fun. So that's where I'm at the moment. And the other thing it's been on my mind a little bit is about doing YouTube videos. I got a notification or an email, or I forget how it came through to me, but something came through from Google, which owns YouTube, saying that, you know, they were going to be using content on the channel, on the platform, to train their AI. And, you know, did I want to opt into, would I give my permission for that to happen with my content, which I didn't. But the whole AI thing that's happening at the moment, I don't like it. And it's like, I listen to a lot of podcasts through YouTube because I've got YouTube Premium, because I don't like ads. And I tend to just black screen it out. And, you know, often before I go to sleep, instead of reading a book, I'll just listen to a really interesting interview with some really amazing people. That there's a lot of wisdom to be gained through this platform, and I'm very appreciative of that. And also audio books of books, you know, ancient wisdom and all sorts of things, and philosophy. I love philosophy that I probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to come across if not for the algorithm feeding it to me. So I do get the advantages of it, but it's gotten to the point where I was listening to one, and they don't identify themselves, and I know they're supposed to, but this was supposedly a talk given by Alan Watts, who, you know, we're talking in the 60s, you know, was giving lots of talks about life and philosophy and everything. And then he starts talking about social media. I'm like, what? There was no social media in the 60s. Like, and then you realize this is an AI voice. So they've taken his voice and they've probably nipped together some snippets of things he actually said and created this whole thing as if that was him giving a talk. That was scary to me. I was like, crikey, you know, like, you might see a video with me standing there talking about something and it might look exactly like me and it might sound exactly like me, but it's not. And I'm finding that the differentiation between what's actually real in this world anymore and what's fake is becoming very, very blurry. And the more that happens, the less I want to participate and feed that machine, and the more I want to get as real as possible and real human interaction. I'm so thankful to YouTube and the people that I've met through it, and the sense of community that I've felt when other people have been able to connect with me or relate to me on things. But let's not let that replace genuine human connection, you know, calling people up on the phone and visiting people. You know, I went and actually had an actual massage just before I left Brisbane, because I was, you know, I'd been dealing with a lot, and I thought, you know, I just need some R&R and a little bit of a treat for myself, and I went and had a half-hour massage. It was amazing. It had been a long time since I had a massage, and I sort of thought to myself, when was the last time anyone even touched your skin? You know, like, I haven't had a hug. I haven't had any human contact for so long. And I mean, part of that is my choice, because, you know, I'm asexual. I don't have those kind of feelings. I don't really want physical intimacy. But even without that, like, in a completely non-sexual sense, it was hard going through Christmas and, you know, my birthday and those kind of traditional get-together type times, as it always is, and being completely on your own again, and just thinking, you know, I would like, you know, even when my kids hug me, it's fantastic. I love it, you know, like, so yeah, to have a massage was really quite important for me, I think, to just, you know, reconnect with my own body a little bit. I did do an interview with Dave Mack, who has a carnivore channel where he interviews people. We did a follow-up interview. That was fun. I've been out to see Pete Murray and Alex Lloyd, which was awesome. Again, I just took myself out, and I love their music, and their music got me through, you know, some pretty heavy years in the early 2000s when I was getting divorced and stuff. I told them that too, like, yeah, you guys got me through my divorce. I love their music, and you guys know that. I mean, Amazing is my special song with Pixie and I, because we do amazing things, and that song just sums up how I feel when it's me and Pixie out and about doing our crazy things. So there is definitely more adventures in me. I'm not pulling up stumps right yet. I'm really keen to do it again, but I just need to get myself into a more comfortable position to be able to do that. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Happy New Year to all my beautiful people who know who they are. And yeah, another trip around the sun for me. So that's exciting. And yeah, no, I'm feeling really good now. Like, I'm okay now. I'm content. I'm really happy with my life choices. I'm really feeling like this is a great life for me. And I did kind of think about the house thing because, you know, obviously I was paying rent, sharing that house with my daughter, and there was a possibility that, you know, maybe I could stay and get flatmates in. But then when the reality of, you know, the fact that interacting and living with other people is challenging. I mean, it's challenging when it's people you love and care about. I don't know that I was wanting to take on the responsibility of, and then having like utility bills and, you know, who has to pay what and who hasn't cleaned this, and just that kind of stuff I haven't had to deal with since I've been in my 20s. So I'm not really ready to do that again. And every time I come up with an alternative to my current situation, I just end up loving the situation I've got even more, because this is just, it works for me. And also not being able to really decide whether I want to be somewhere. I mean, I'm not a city girl. I can see the convenience of living in the city, but there was just so much going on. And as soon as I got out into the country, I was like, oh, you know, I felt more peaceful and relaxed, and the scenery, looking at greenery and hills and trees and rivers and listening to the sound of frogs and babbling brooks is much more conducive to my mental health than bustling city sounds and vibrations and things. So yeah, I got a bit discombobulated, but I'm regaining my peace. Every experience like that just reminds me that to be thankful and grateful for the choice I've made to have this type of living situation where I can go to as many beautiful places as I want to, as often as I want to, stay as long as I need to, leave when I want to. The downside being that human connection on a consistent basis is not really doable in that circumstance, and there are times when I wish I had more of that, so that I wouldn't be spending Christmases and birthdays alone. That would be, but you know, I don't want to commit to, I don't want a partner in my life. Like somebody did make a comment about that recently. Don't I miss that? And don't I wish I had someone to share it with? No, I don't. I love that I don't have to think about, you know, somebody else's requirements and needs and ask them, you know, hey, can we go here? I want to see that. I want to do this. Like the freedom I have to be able to just go, this is where I want to go now, and I might change my mind as soon as I get there. And you just, you know, you're interacting, and I've gotten used to it. I've been on my own for so long now. I can't imagine any other way. And it's not like I don't interact with humans. I do. I see people, I talk to them when I'm busking. Obviously people stop and chat to me, and that's nice. It's just you don't really, apart from my, you know, couple of long-term friends who are scattered around, that we maintain contact over the phone and stuff. But it's not like, you know, someone saying, hey Lisa, what are you doing tonight? Do you want to come around for dinner? You know, like that just doesn't happen. So there is a difference to that. You know, there's positive and negatives in everything. And I honestly think that, yeah, I get down sometimes about the hard parts of it, but I do think the positives outweigh the negatives. And in the end, the main thing is that my health is better in this situation where I am 100% control of my circumstances. And I'm also 100% in control of the influence and I have with other people and their energies in sort of imposing on me. Like if I'm not up to it, I can cave a little, close myself off and not interact with people. And if I'm feeling like I want to interact with people, I can go out and interact with people. So anyway, the update from me. Not much to report. Would love to have shared some beautiful video with you. I'm going to go into the computer shop with the SD card and see if there's some way that they can revive all that footage. But otherwise, you're just going to get Lisa talking head. And I don't even know how much capacity. I've taken the SD card out now, so I'm just using the internal memory. So I don't even know how long I've got on this and how quickly I'm going to fill it up. So I'll post this as soon as possible, and much love to you all, and thank you for caring. I really appreciate it. See ya.